A week ago, records fell as the Philadelphia Wings recorded their first victory. It came before 16,000, the largest crowd ever, and featured the most prolific one-game scoring, 6 goals by Pat Lehman, and the fewest goals allowed, 7 by Vinny Pfeiffer, in a runaway victory over the Baltimore Thunder. But now, an altogether different challenge.
I'm very, very impressed with Jersey. I think, of course, they have a bit of advantage, I guess, over the other teams. They kind of have that Long Island, that whole group of Long Island players to draw from. But I see no reason in the world that we can't handle them from what I've seen of them and other teams.
The Saints are averaging nearly 20 goals a game. They bring their explosive attack to the Spectrum to face the Philadelphia Wings next. Prism Sports presents the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. Brought to you by Coors Light, the right beer now. U.S. Air, fly the USA on U.S. Air. STX, the official equipment supplier. At the Philadelphia Airport Hilton Hotel, the official headquarters of the Philadelphia Wings. Now from the Spectrum, the New Jersey Saints meet the Philadelphia Wings. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fastest game on 2 feet. From the Spectrum, it's the matchup we've waited for. The first-place New Jersey Saints against the Philadelphia Wings. Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Rosen, joined by the coach, University of Pennsylvania, Tony Seaman. As mentioned, a big matchup to see how far Philadelphia's come.
It certainly is. Last week was a must-win. Everyone is a must-win, and they're playing the league leaders this week.
Now, New Jersey features the Long Island connection. Virtually every player on their squad for the New York area. Familiarity is certainly a key in this sport.
It sure is, Larry, and they've been playing in high school together, went to colleges, and many of them played together there, and then the Long Island Lacrosse Club on field together, and now the second year with the Saints. They know each other very well.
They certainly do. They're led by one of the league's leading scorers. Gary Bloom has 11 goals through 4 games. An Adelphi graduate, a lot of speed.
Yes, and he'll use it well. He also can put it away once he gets in close. So he's by far their best offensive player.
For Philadelphia, they have also one of the league leaders in scoring, also with 11 goals. Pat Lehman had 6 of them last time out as Philadelphia won the first game of the season. Pat Lehman, coming of age as an indoor player.
We talk about all the things that you should do particularly well. Pat Lehman shoots the ball overhand. He puts the ball on the goal, and he's been really scoring. He's the offensive leader right now.
While Philadelphia is the defensive team, New Jersey, the leader in team offense. Philadelphia allowed only 1 goal the final 3 periods last time out. Their defense has come around.
It sure has. And when your goalie plays confidently, you're going to be much more aggressive. You're going to take the chances because you know he's going to get the job done. And Vinny Pfeiffer has been getting the job done.
It is the high-powered offense, New Jersey Saints versus the league leaders in defense, the Philadelphia Wings. That's the setup. We'll come back with the starting lineups and more in a moment. Stay tuned for Wings Lacrosse.
Thunder meets the Philadelphia Wings. Coors Light brings you Major Indoor Lacrosse, the sport that has it all. Hard-hitting, all-out slashing, fierce sporting, and bone-bruising cross-checking. It is wild. Philadelphia needs this win as they continue on the road to the championship. Awesome athletes in the box. Saturday, February 20th at the Spectrum. Make contact with the future.
Versus the New Jersey Saints. Philadelphia led, of course, by the guy that might be the Major Indoor Lacrosse League MVP should Philadelphia go on to win a championship. In goal, his name is Vinny Pfeiffer. As we look at Bob Engelke's New Jersey Saints.
Bob Engelke, what a great player at Adelphi University, an All-American. Sewanee High School, grew up with all the kids he's coaching. And just a great player, and now he's taking his playing days, are retired, and he's doing some coaching.
And the starting lineups for Philadelphia, they'll go with the line that scored 19 of their 35 goals thus far. Pat Lehman, Mark DeSico, Tony Resch, Scott Crothers, and John J.C. Conley. Tom Sweeney, Norm Engelke, the coach's brother, Randy Natoli, Jeff Nicholas, and John Driscoll. In goal will be Mike Swift, also from Adelphi University. He'll probably play just the first half. He's backed up by Larry Quinn. And down on our left, the man that is en route to an MVP-type season, his name is Vinny Pfeiffer, league leader in save percentage.
there's anybody in the world that can challenge Vinny Pfeiffer for MVP in the goal, it's the man we're going to see in the second half for the Saints, and that's going to be Larry Quinn.
And Tom Young puts it in play, and we're underway. Philadelphia looking to even their record at 2-2 and move into a position to at least host one of the playoff games to come. And immediately in the first 8 seconds, Philadelphia in possession. Philadelphia, Tony, will be a methodical squad, we're led to believe today.
Well, you boys got your coaching plans, and you do this stuff all week long to get ready for what you hope is going to work best, and hope your players are going to do it. Coach Evans' plans: control the pace, control the tempo, take the swiftness away from the New Jersey Saints because they rely on transition and speed.
First shot from Lehman. Short hops and over the boards, and we get to see the first offensive set out of New Jersey. And they spread the floor. Look at Randy Natoli, does not even go into the offensive end. As the shot taken by Tom Sweeney, easily handled by Pfeiffer. Transition offense, Philadelphia's Lehman works the left wing. One-on-one with Natoli, has a cutter. Shot off the elbow pad of Swift from Manley. Nice setup. Pat Lehman only 1 assist in the first several games. The 11 goals, almost had one there.
Excellent play, good ball movement, real good speed down court by the wings as they really moved off the ball very well that time. Swift with a real nice elbow save.
And the Tucker line comes out versus the Huff line for New Jersey. Tucker, one of the better face-off men in the league. Controls for Philadelphia. There's Jeff Bozell, by far the largest player on the floor this afternoon. Short hop shot taken by Tasker, handled in the 5-hole by Mike Swift. And working up the left wing is Dave McCullough, among the league leaders in assists with 8. He's from Hofstra University. Tries to go it alone right in the basket of Vinny Pfeiffer.
Dave McCullough is a very, very outstanding athlete. Played for Hofstra University in the days when Hofstra has not done well NCAA field-wise. But McCullough was the one bright spot, and he certainly will be a factor here today.
Of course, this is Vinny Pfeiffer's first appearance against his former teammates. He was a resident of the Long Island area a year ago, played for the Saints, moved down to the Baltimore area, picked up in the draft by Philadelphia. Philadelphia weaving at the top as the shot clock, again a 45-second clock, winds down for Tasker's shot, which is wide. And it winds up back in the middle. Just to beat the shot clock, the roller. Rebound score by John Tucker. How do you like that? A seemingly innocent play started by Gary Martin just to beat the shot clock. The rebound winds up in the hands of John Tucker.
This is a line switch today by the wings. They've moved Gary Martin to John Tucker's line, and here it pays off. There we see a great ground ball by Tucker off a rebound from Swift. What a great job, and he gets hit very late by Natoli afterwards, and John has some words for him. What a great play by John Tucker. Hey, Larry, John Tucker might have come to play. Maybe he brought his goal scoring stick with him today.
Tucker was the league MVP a year ago and had only scored 2 goals in the opening 3 games. That's his 3rd. And Philadelphia back in possession. Corrigan works the right side. And again, as expected, the slightly more methodical play. That's French, Mike French. Missed last week's game with a Paul French, his brother Mike, the general manager, missed last week's game with a slightly separated shoulder. Greaves' shot to a screen is wide. And McGeaney picks it up. Philadelphia's done a real nice job of simply denying possession to New Jersey in the opening 3 minutes.
They certainly are controlling the tempo, and that's what Coach Evans wanted to do, so the troops are coming through. There's a pipe.
And Corrigan beats Swift cleanly off the near side pipe. And it must have had a lot of muster on it because it winds up all the way back in the basket of Vinny Pfeiffer. Yet again, Philadelphia working slowly and cautiously on the perimeter with McGeaney to Corrigan. That's McGeaney. Leaves it at the top for French. Shot clock at 15. So Evans' script is working very well.
It certainly is. The thing is that you got to put that shot on cage. Now there's a shot, but it's not on cage.
Shot clock's at 5. And New Jersey will get a possession to beat the 45-second shot clock. And a loose ball picked up off Eugene Miller's stick. And Philadelphia had a 3-on-1. A nice look from Greaves for French, but it's behind him. And in the open floor, a good hit by McGeaney.
McGeaney was back where he belonged. That's what Evans is going to do. He's going to have at least one, maybe two players from each line sit back, make sure that they're not going to get the transition that the Saints are looking for. And McGeaney, an excellent job as he crushes them against the boards and takes away the break.
Now they're ready to begin.
And the on-the-fly line change, much like the NHL. It's Natoli at the top. Randy Natoli, third in the league in assists. That's well wide into the second row. Possession, Philadelphia. Again, New Jersey averaging nearly 19 goals per game, by far the league lead. And Philadelphia giving up just about 10 plus, by far the league low. So certainly a contrast of styles. J.C. Conley gets a good double screen. Tries it himself, but Swift beats him off the hip. And loose ball belongs to New Jersey. Again, they love to run the open floor, but this was a 3-on-4. Good back-checking out of Carruthers. And he's handed it back to set the scene himself.
Certainly of the two teams so far that they've played, Baltimore and Washington, speed was not a factor. The goals, very, very fast, as we said, for the Washington team, but that's really it. Not a team-oriented speed team, but Jersey Saints can go both ways. You'll get very few breaks against them as well because they just have such total team speed.
There's the coach's brother, Norm Engelke, out of Cornell.
Norm Engelke has been a world player for our world team 2 times, an All-American 3 years at Cornell, one of the finest players in the game of lacrosse.
And Philadelphia has a nice 2-on-1 developing. Resch, off the bench, Marino comes in defensively. Shot at the ankle, handled by Swift.
Michael Swift has been impressive in the first period. He certainly is the reason the Wings only have 1 goal. They've had excellent shots. They've had real good selection, good control of the tempo, but Swift is doing the job in the 4x4.
And it's the Tucker line. Philadelphia almost half a period here without giving up a goal. The defensive records begin to mount, and a score. What a lovely look from Tasker to Tucker, and the quick put away. Great pass from Dave Tasker.
It sure was. And John Tucker, as the receiver of the ball, kept his eyes off the ball. He didn't, if you see here, this is a great pass, but as he looks through. Now Tucker doesn't let him know that he's going to get it. His defenseman has no idea. He catches and puts it away. And once again, we've said so many times during this year, if you can get that goalie to move, and he had to move from the left side of the cage to the right, Tucker has brought the right stick today.
All in one motion for Tucker as Bozell runs over his man. McCullough, Moreno comes out with it.
6 minutes, 17 seconds. So John Tucker.
That shot's well wide. Of course, John Tucker had a 9-game point streak ended last time out. So he certainly come back with a vengeance the first 2 goals in the first 7 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, SDX is the official equipment sponsor in the major.
Yeah, it's great to see John Tucker come through on the offensive end. He does so many things well, and of course we know that we're big fans of him. But he sees the field, he plays defense great, he's a great passer. But now if he's going to bring that offensive threat with him today, the Saints certainly are going to have more than they bargained for. They knew they had to stop Lehman. They knew they're going to have to put the Hawks on Greaves, but now they've got John Tucker to worry about. He's coming alive. Tucker, that great World Games 1986 most valuable player as well.
And early on, a 9-2 Wings advantage in shots. And there's Greaves. Dickie Greaves will meet him in a Wings profile shortly. Trying to go 1-on-4. And we've got a whistle. And a penalty called by Rich Tamburino. It will go against McCullough. Davey McCullough at 7:01 of the first period, the first man advantage situation for Philadelphia.
New Jersey penalty number 27, David McCullough, 2 minutes for slashing.
And it's a slashing minor called, and an official's timeout now has been taken. So we'll take a timeout, give us a chance to meet up close Dick Reeves, Philadelphia Wings.
I'm a stockbroker for Penny Weber in Baltimore. So since the market crash, I need a little extra income.
It's really the love of the sport that brings Dick Reeves to the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. He sees the hard-hitting nature of the game as a way to broaden the audience.
It exposes lacrosse to a different person. It's not the club lacrosse, the Sunday afternoon, people coming out in the sunshine. That's not what they're there for. We're out there to entertain the people, there's no doubt about that, but we're having fun. I think the fans like to see it. They certainly come out to see a lot of hitting, and I think some people think that that's the only thing that goes on, but I think a lot of the fans that do come out are seeing good finesse lacrosse. They're seeing a lot of good stick work, and they're having a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. We're certainly not doing this for the paycheck.
Smiling Dick Reeves talking about the $150 or so the players are getting on a per-game basis, hoping that will rise with the league's success. Philadelphia now on the man advantage, the man defensive unit for New Jersey, featuring Huff, Red Arrow, Driscoll, and Natoli in the nice, tight box. Reeves at the top, has Tasker behind. There's Tasker. Shot clock still runs. At 45, nice look across the slot to Manley. And he can't put it away. But that's the second cross slot pass which has got through.
Michael Swift, the goalie for the Saints, is a much more of a Beardmore type goalie, the Washington Washington Waves goalie. He's quick. He's got very good reflexes, and he's going to be speedier than most of the big cumbersome goalies. So I think we're seeing a trend this year, moving away from the big person, the bulk who filled the goal, to the better athlete. Certainly Vinny Pfeiffer, one of the best, and Swift is the same way as Beardmore was.
And there they go, waltz around the mulberry bush. Shot clock down to 6.
What a job the Wings are doing here on defense.
And this will be a possession Philadelphia on the 45-second violation. Philadelphia 2 for 5 with that man advantage last time out in the win against Baltimore. Have only had the one offensive thrust. Back they come with Greaves and Tasker on the right side. That's Tasker. Again, the cross slot look for Lehman. And the crunching hit and a whistle. And the hand goes up. That is Miko Red Arrow, who may get nailed for the boarding.
Miko Red Arrow. Miko is another Hofstra graduate. He's an Indian who lived in Freeport, Long Island, New York, and he plays for the Iroquois national team, which will be in the World Games in 1990 in Australia.
And a very skilled player. Gets a boarding call at the 8:32 mark. Make it officially unnecessary roughness. So it's a 5-on-3. Is this a triangle defense now for New Jersey?
Yes, because they've got 2 men down. So now they got to go with 1 out top on the point. And here you want good ball movement. Once again, you want to try to get that goalie to move.
Reeves comes out of there with it. Couldn't quite possess. Now the shot comes just wide from John Tucker. Tucker bidding for a natural hat trick in the game's first 9 minutes. Pfeiffer rescues as the first penalty has now expired. As Tasker works the side. Hanley was alone in front. Reeves recovers. Still 5-on-4. Nice across the slot look for Lehman. Pat Lehman had 6 last week. Can't buy one early here.
And the Wings take the ball away from New Jersey.
Lehman and Greaves. Wides and fires and scores.
This is great because Greaves drops the stick and Swift drops to his knees and Greaves puts it in the top corner from low off the ground. So that's important. That's something that Dickie Greaves has not done so far this year. When he's put his stick low to shoot low, he's kept it low. But on this one, this is a great look. Now Greaves, see, the stick goes down and it comes up into the top corner. It's not a bounce, it's a high riser. Here we're going to even get a better view. He puts it down Swift to his knees, and you see him get beat over the top left shoulder.
And seemingly he has learned the indoor game a little bit better. That's good-looking skill for Philadelphia. Right now it's 13-2 in terms of shots, so it's been all Philadelphia in the opening 9 minutes. Now New Jersey has a thrust. little backhand look short side post, blocked away off Matt Crowley by Vinny Pfeiffer.
The nicest part is that the Wings have only allowed them 3 or 4 shots, but they've never given them a second shot at any one time down. And boy, that is a big key. So that means that Vinny Pfeiffer is starting to keep his rebounds close to his body, and his defensive people are picking the ball up off the ground. And here's shake and bake Dickie Greaves.
And the double team hit. Knocks him off the ball by Tom Borges. And finally, manpower advantage the other way, 5-on-3, but nothing doing for Gary Bloom. He had 4 goals, 2 assists versus Baltimore. Certainly a goal scorer. Has 11 on the season, stripped from the rear by Greaves. It's loose behind.
Nice defense by Dickie Greaves. As a coach, you die when somebody goes over the head, because if you miss it, he's gone. But he got the stick and knocked the ball loose.
And again, a push from the rear. Here's a breakaway. Oh, and a good job on Mark DeSico as Swift came out and drilled him. They're going to hit him with a penalty.
It's worth the penalty, I think, because you stop the goal being scored. And the goalie, of course, will not leave the game. So it's a real smart move by Mike Swift. No doubt about that. But now they got to go man down again.
DeSico only has 1 goal, would have been in position 1-on-1, but Swift came off his line swiftly, and they nail him for unnecessary roughness.
I'll tell you, Larry, if Vinny Pfeiffer and the Wings defense keep this up, they've gone 3, now almost 4 quarters, not letting a goal up. I don't know if these kind of records can ever be matched again in indoor box lacrosse. It's just unbelievable. What a great job. Pfeiffer just believes you can't score on me. And as we said last week, his defense says, we're not going to let him even get close to you, Vinny.
We've got a break as they put Swift in the box. Apparently there's a moment or two of organization going on now by Bob Engelke to figure out just what he's going to do with his starting goaltender in the box.
Okay, this is not a problem for Engelke, because I personally believe, and I think Engelke does too, that Larry Quinn is the premier goalie probably in the country in any game, the field game, the box game, whatever you want to talk about. And he's got him sitting to come in the second half. So to let Swifty go into the box and put Quinn in, no big deal, I think, as far as Coach Engelke is concerned. Maybe the one consideration is he's cold, he's coming off the bench, hasn't had a chance to warm up. I've watched this kid play for 7 years. We've played against him for 4 years. He doesn't need to warm up.
He's, of course, out of Johns Hopkins University, a tall, rangy fella with great quickness. The only man in the league whose goals against average or save percentage really challenges Vinny Pfeiffer's. Vinny at 79.4, Quinn at 78 even, and the league average right around 68, 69%. So, you know, Quinn comes to play. He's got a great release. He's an excellent passer for a goaltender. Doesn't run up and down the floor like a Beardmore, but when he gets it, he's got that super quick release.
Yeah, you'll rarely see Larry Quinn leave the goal, but he doesn't have to. He can hit a person, pinpoint, anywhere on a field.
And again, it's a 5-on-4. Philadelphia, 5 men on the perimeter, a 4-man box. As Greaves' shot was knocked away by number 32, John Driscoll, wound up 12-13 rows back, just below us. And possession, Philadelphia. Again, we've played just about 11 minutes of the first period. It's been all Philadelphia.
We've seen every team now in their man-down defense, and the Wings are still the only ones who use that diamond, and they'll go back and forth with the box. I think the diamond's a great defense, 5-on-4.
And why is that? Just to be able to put more pressure on the point guy?
Yeah, I think you take the middle guy out of the game a little bit more, and that's really important.
Well, there was a slash thrown out by Larry Quinn.
And John Tucker is not happy. Larry Quinn, don't come out of your crease.
Tucker took his number. Short-handed, it's Huff. Picked up by Tucker. That one off the face mask of Miko Red Arrow. And Pfeiffer. Maybe getting burned here. Matt McGeaney now in the net as Pfeiffer ranged far, almost to the neutral zone, but does not get burnt. Now short-handed ragging the New Jersey Saints.
Said to Pat Lehman earlier today, well, how did it feel last week? 6 goals, everything you shoot goes in. He says, Coach, you know, there's days like that. They don't come very often, and there's going to be a lot of days where they don't go in quite as easily. But I said to him, Pat, you're shooting great. You're using all the technical stuff that you should be doing. You're coming down overhand. You're finding the corners. They got to fall when you're doing the things right that you're doing.
And obviously the attempt to kill as much clock as possible. The shot clock's at 45, then the quick spring for Natoli. And Philadelphia with one final thrust on the man advantage. Interesting to see what happens. I guess they're going to leave Quinn in when Swift comes out and just replace him with another player. Tasker goes low. Quinn, kick save. Penalty has now expired. And coming out of the box is Marino, who had served it. And they won't let Mike Swift come out to the next stoppage. Philadelphia, though, really has commanded tempo in the opening period.
Yeah, so important. That's what they wanted to do, and they've been very, very effective at doing it. And one of the big keys, I think, at the other end is that they have not given up rebounds and not given them a second attempt.
Off the screen comes Carruthers. He can't get it, but the screener, Tony Resch, runs it down.
Jersey takes the ball.
And Tony Resch is the man who got switched off the Tucker line and is now on the Lehman line. And Martin goes to the Tucker line. They just thought it would give a little bit more offensive thrust.
And Keita Marino for the quick thrust wide. Philadelphia possession.
And they felt that with Martin going to Tucker, more offense. With Resch going to Lehman, Lehman doesn't need more offense. 6 goals, let the boy roll.
Yet another shutout period about to be put on the board by the Philadelphia Wings and Vinny Pfeiffer. This time against the league leaders in goal scoring, the New Jersey Saints. J.C. Conley cuts right, spins, works, looks, it's wide. Tasker comes down with it, has a man alone, is Tucker, and he just shot wide with a wide open net as Quinn had to come out of his crease.
And Tucker handled that so well. He took the shot from Quinn, kind of moved back with it, and then tried to dunk it over top of his shoulder, but he just missed the cage. Real alert look on the ground ball.
Gary Bloom and John Tucker exchanging some stick work in the neutral zone. Shot clock's at 2. Tucker just realizes it, fires wide. New Jersey possession.
Yeah, he had to put that on the cage, then it would have been alive, and they would have had the ball back, but he missed the cage, so therefore the 45 seconds runs down, and it's New Jersey Saints with the ball.
And a whistle. Official timeout. And that is Scott Boyle taking charge. They stopped the play to allow Mike Swift to come out of the penalty box. He had been in there serving his own minor, and there had been a stoppage for the 45-second clock, and they did not allow him out during that stoppage, so good move by Scott Boyle to get him out of there at that opportunity. Shot is wide, and Cozell really crunches Tom Borges. And very much individual effort, the order of the day for the Saints. Very little effort team-wise. Matt Crowley shot wide, and a timeout taken.
Timeout is called by the Wings.
Yeah, now that's a real good move by Engelke, I think. When Swift's penalty was over and Boyle stopped the play so that he could get his man, his goalie back on, he kept Quinn in there. He figures Quinn had to come off cold. He got a few shots at him. Why bring Swift, who's been cold, back in and take Quinn out? The quarter's almost over. Let Quinn finish the rest of the quarter in the cage. And so I think that's a very, very good coaching move by Bob Engelke.
And Quinn obviously has some great skills and a great body to be a lacrosse goaltender.
He went to Johns Hopkins, and when he went there, the person who was there playing the goal ahead of him, a boy by the name of Holman, was a junior, and he got the job. He stayed as a junior and a senior, so Larry didn't get his first starting assignment until he was a junior at Johns Hopkins. As a junior, he was All-American First Team Player of the Year. As a senior, All-American First Team Player of the Year. He made the World Team tryouts in the World Games Player of the Year. So I think it all speaks for himself. In high school, 2-time All-American. So just a great, great, outstanding athlete.
Vinny Pfeiffer got the largest ovation of all the Wings as they were introduced for the start of this one. And Vinny again, 22 seconds now away from a shutout first period. Only one goal allowed by Vinny Pfeiffer over the last 60 minutes of action. Could you imagine a shutout being posted in this game? Now they're going to drop Vinny out and add J.C. Conley for that one final thrust. Conley now makes it a 6-on-5 and takes the shot. Rebound in front for Greaves at the horn. So great move by the Wings to get the extra attacker in. It has been all Philadelphia in period number 1. They'll sit down for a moment or two, leading New Jersey 3-0. Regular season, so obviously all of them become important. New Jersey lost in overtime to Washington. Philadelphia beat Baltimore in the most recent action. So there, a look at the standings and pretty much what you might expect. Although Baltimore was the defending champion, they're languishing in last place right now.
Yeah, but last year Baltimore wound up in last place and won the championship. But this year the last place team doesn't go to the playoffs. So it is very important that you do well in the standings.
And we're underway with period number 2. As the teams have switched sides. Back in the net is Mike Swift, number 3, down to our left. And there's a fight breaking out down immediately in front of us. And this one features Gary Martin, the Penn State graduate. Of course, the masks do not come off. And we haven't seen much in the way of actual fisticuffs. And that's John Driscoll for New Jersey in the main event.
Yeah, that's the first fight we've seen in 3 games now, and probably of all the fights, the most physical one. Once again, you keep your gloves on, you keep your helmet on. To me, if you really want to pay somebody back, you do it on the field when you get a good shot at them, not when you got all that kind of equipment.
Here's the way it all started. It began with a left hook and another left hook, and a John Driscoll, and Gary Martin, not shy, said, "I'll go toe-to-toe."
Yeah, that was absolutely Mr. Driscoll who started that one, and I think he got the worst of it.
And Driscoll's a goal scorer. He was 3rd in the league in goal scoring in 1987. And Gary Martin, of course, is a New York area player playing for Philadelphia. So there's some familiarity probably between those two guys.
The real truth is, in lacrosse, Larry, I think that every one of these guys know each other so well and have played so many times in so many different arenas against each other. It's amazing. You know everybody. It's like one time Tucker said to me, he said, "God," says, "I was mad. I turned around and I clubbed the heck out of John Lehman, Pat Lehman's brother. He's my best friend." But I didn't realize it till it was over. I was still mad.
There's Jeff Lozelle, who's become a crowd favorite at 6'2", 230. That John Tucker will wide and whip wide, get his own rebound. And Manley can't handle the cross-crease pass.
And we see Mr. Swift back in the goal for the New Jersey Saints. Great at his job.
And there's a goal scored by Natoli, just breaking the streak of Vinny Pfeiffer. Goes end-to-end around Jeff Lozelle, and the short hopper through the 5-hole on Vinny Pfeiffer.
And transition goal. They get the break. They get the rebound off the wall. Driscoll gets the pass out. Natoli carries. Good bounce shot, and as you called it, right between the 5-hole.
And it looked like Vinny might have gotten a little piece of it.
I think it hit his knee pad, and it went up over.
So 49 minutes, Philadelphia held the opposition without a goal until Randy Natoli comes up with that one right there.
Momentum. Will it switch? It was all the Wings in the first period.
Score! Talk about momentum. Back-to-back goals in a matter of seconds. This one by Marino, his first of the night. He's not even on a regular line. Not expected to play with some leg problems, but lovely goal there.
Beautiful. It's a weak side pick. It's the offside pick. He comes across off the pick, catches it, has everything to shoot at, all 4 corners. Roddy Marino can play the game. All-American, University of Virginia. 2 years in a row, first-team All-American attackman.
And that's 2 goals, 14 seconds apart. Suddenly it's a 3-2 contest. And a push in the rear gives possession to Philadelphia. And with a leg cramp, Conley comes up limping and heads for the bench, replaced by Corrigan. And Conley, one of the leading scorers for Philadelphia, with 5 goals. Greaves scores. How do you like that? Catches his goaltender flat-footed. Dickie Greaves goes short side low, and that may swing the momentum back to Philadelphia.
That's certainly a well-needed goal. by Dickey, and Dickey's been on the cage today. Both his shots have been on cage. Of course, both have been scorers, but so important. He gets underneath the right ankle of Michael Swift.
And Swift had his leg beyond the post. You like to see that leg up against it. And with the leg beyond the post, it just kind of snuck on in there. That is his 5th for Greaves.
At 90 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour, I'm not sure how much you sneak it in, but it certainly went by him.
Nice pass for Lehman. The shot high over the corner. Good look by Crothers. And here comes the transition with Frankie Tashman, number 1. Works the right wing. Has a man to center. Tough shot for Pfeiffer. Can't handle it. Great look on the inside to Scott Huff. And the goals come quickly. 3 goals in less than 90 seconds for New Jersey. It's a 4-3 lacrosse game.
Frankie Tashman is a story in himself. He's a great athlete, a great player, and an attackman for Adelphi University. He finds Mr. Huff in the middle. Mr. Huff with a great face dodge, gets in close to Vinny, and then he had him at his mercy.
At 1 minute and 27 seconds.
So New Jersey, 3 goals in 50 seconds. In the game, 4 goals in 50 seconds, counting Philadelphia's. And back they come yet again in the open floor. Bloom across the crease, and that's a shoulder save by Pfeiffer. And Steve Way probably in for Conley with that leg cramp. Gets it out to Crothers, who waits for some help. And the quick line change. Tucker, Tasker, Manley, Moselle come out for Philadelphia. We'll only have 4 men out. There you go. French finally joins on board.
There's the old pick and roll. Real nice play. John couldn't handle the pass.
And he thought he had
to
it.
get a rebound. Tucker plays great defense. And here comes 2-on-1. Watch out.
That's Bloom. Good screen from Red Arrow. Cross the crease, right on the stick. But a boarding call coming up against French. And this will lead to the first man advantage as Paul French will head for the penalty box. Hit Matt Crowley from the rear. And Crowley had a step.
Yeah, Paul French is a big boy, and if he takes you into the boards, you're certainly going to feel it. Now, to me, that's much more productive physically if you want to get somebody back or you want to let somebody know you're on a field or they've done something to you than hitting each other with your helmets and gloves on.
Crowley at the top with Goldberg. That's Jeff Goldberg, number 6 out of North Carolina State.
And we see the wings in the diamond, and we're taking away the effectiveness of the middleman, but they try to clear him out.
Rebound, score! Just before the check arrived, Matt Crowley ties this one at 4.
And we know how dangerous the rebound is, and once again we see it. It's one of the things that really gives Vinny Pfeiffer problems. It's not his fault. You see the shot go by. Crowley with a quick pickup, all alone, puts it to the far corner. Nice shot.
Is that a set play to use the glass, or is he trying to go for the goal?
It certainly could be, and I wouldn't want to guess one way or another if it was. It didn't look like they were set up, that it was a definite set play. I think it was a shot, but I think you want to be very aware of the rebound, and after practicing enough and playing enough, you know it's going to come.
Certainly a man advantage goal.
And 2:46 on the power play to tie the game at 4.
To tie the game at 4-4.
14 remains.
5 goals in the first 3 minutes of the second stanza. Conley has come back now. It must have been just a muscle cramp. Got it worked out. And he's part of that rugby scrum down to our left.
Of the second period has belonged to New Jersey.
And goaltender Swift will start the offensive set. Certainly New Jersey has the pace back the way they like it, up and down the floor. There's a man alone. Good looking shot from Sweeney, and Pfeiffer got it in the crook of his left elbow as he was leaning the wrong way. Just kind of got a piece of it. Loose one in front.
Against the Washington Waves.
To the cutter. And again, around the elbow, the save made off Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, Pfeiffer made 2 big saves there, and he's got to work now. The first period was easy because they missed the cage a lot. Now they're on the cage. They've got their momentum. They're feeling pretty confident about shooting against Vinny Pfeiffer. They know he's not invincible, so he's going to have his work cut out. But those last 2 are going to be big confidence builders for him.
Lehman's shot ties the 5-hole. Swift just gets a piece to break it free. Behind is Lehman. The 2 number 11s go at one another, Sweeney and Lehman. Whistle, possession, Philadelphia. And the Fighting Majors have now expired to Martin and Driscoll. So at last, the penalty boxes are empty at the 11:02 mark, second period.
So important. I think a great lesson for a young player coming up or at any level. When you're playing against great goalies, put the ball on the cage. Don't try to
score, just like John Conley did there. Over the left shoulder. And we see Conley almost once per game with a kind of sneaky, long-distance corner shot.
You're right. You're so right, Larry. He's got a crank, and he can let it go sidearm. He takes his man, he changes direction, comes back, it's off his hip, and it beats Swift high. A great shot, and he uses his defenseman very well. You see 17 was really a good screen and hurt Swift. Swift didn't pick it up till it was by him.
And Philadelphia retakes the lead at 5-4. Mark DeSico gets the assist on Conley's 6th of the season. And he wins the draw cleanly himself. Had some good dipsy-do in the open floor. Here he comes, stripped from the rear by a dive. And that was Andy Phillips. Huff and Resch.
So important to remember, when you beat your man, the only place that he can do damage to you is from behind. So when you go to pass or shoot, you got to keep the stick in front of your face instead of putting it behind your ear. Teach your defenseman that when you get beat, you can easily catch up to the person who just beat you and look for his stick showing. Don't try to get up to the front of him. Wait for him to show his stick when he passes or shoots.
And Marino tries to do it alone as well. Shot is wide. Huff, little shovel pass inside.
And the Wings got the ball.
Marino, but Wings come out with it in the person of Resch. Long lead pass just too far ahead of Tucker. Great lead by Tucker. And unnecessary roughness from the rear. Possession, Philadelphia. Tucker helped up by Dave McCullough. Dozell tries a short hopper. And it's off the screen behind. We'll have a face-off down to our left.
Yeah, Bozell had a great opportunity then. The ref blew a quick whistle. The Saints weren't ready, and he went in. He just missed the cage. Once again, you make the goalie's job so easy when you don't even put it on the cage. So it's a off the goalie, and it's going to be a face-off.
There's the face-off.
Tucker and Huff, and it's broken free for New Jersey's McCullough. And a quick change on the fly for Bob Engelke's New Jersey Saints. That's Tom Borges. Make that Don Borges. And they seemingly are trying an awful lot from behind Biddy Pfeiffer, but without all that much success.
Yeah, we saw that last year. That's their style. Remember, Engelke, the coach, is a field player, and a great deal of your offense generates from behind. He was a great behind player, by the way. So, once again, you're going back to your frame of reference. You're going to go what worked for you and try.
Here's Gary Bloom, who's been quiet. Pfeiffer goes down to his knees and handles. That shot by Matt Crowley. Again, end-to-end French. Oh, just a little bit behind Dave Tasker. 2-on-0. You got to put those away.
You bet, and that was a great look by Tasker. It was the right play, definitely. You just got to make a better pass. And what a look by John Tucker to find Tasker from 40 yards away.
And here's the coach's brother, Norm Engelke, at the top.
And here's a great Shaken Baker. He can take you one-on-one.
Likes to go right. That's his strong side. He's denied right. And it's broken 40 as the shot clock comes down inside 15.
Jersey zone, and up by Mike Swift, the goalkeeper. Steve Miller.
Shot clock in single digits now for Miller. Eugene Miller, the only Connecticut foreign player on the squad. And French comes out with it. Oh, an ill-advised pass as the shot clock runs down, but he is covered by Tucker and Pfeiffer. And there's French, again coming off that mild shoulder separation suffered 2 games ago, trying to get his game legs. We are 4-on-3. Now 3-on-3 as New Jersey changes on the go. Randy Natoli.
The old man of the team, Larry. He's a 2-time world team player. He's by far the oldest player on the field, but boy, he can still get it done. He's a great eyes. He'll see the open field very well. and a great shooter once he gets the ball in close.
An open lane opens up. Pfeiffer beats him, though, on Gary Bloom, as he did get a nice seam. As we reach the halfway point of period number 2, Philadelphia on top 5-4.
And the two styles become very, very obvious here in the second period. The run and gun and shoot of transition offense of the Saints versus the slow down. We're going to play you 5-on-5 at half the field. We're going to try to keep control of the ball and get the rebounds of the Philadelphia Wings.
That's Mark DeSico from Maplewood, New York, number 25, to Tony Resch, that former defensive back at Yale. Conley, the smallest man on the floor behind, looking for a screen. Nice shovel pass, but it just goes through Lehman's stick. And then Lehman goes wide of Swift.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and the horn sounds. We do indeed have a break. Midway through period number 2 from the Spectrum. Rich Tamburino calls the timeout. And we'll take it as well. Philadelphia on top by Bob Engelke's New Jersey Saints, Tony, do not seem to run set lines. I guess with that familiarity of the Long Island connection, they're able to change up their player personnel on a shift-by-shift basis.
Yeah, I think that's very true of them, and they just see who's out there and how we relate with each other, remember our strong points, and go for it. It's certainly, this is a team approach for sure, as opposed to a line approach or just a click of keeping certain people together, and that's it, and becoming familiar.
For Dave Evans, the Philadelphia coach, he changes one player here and there on his lines, but generally has kept his units together. Running down near the 6-minute mark, Nicholas trying to go it alone on Lehman.
Jeff Nicholas is a real familiar name to the Pennsylvania area and to yours truly, because his younger brother just played for me the last 4 years and just graduated. Kevin Nicholas was one of our offensive leaders for 4 years. Jeff was an All-American at the University of Virginia with Roddy Marino, another line mate out here for the Saints.
Again, Natoli, Nicholas, Driscoll, Marino, all Virginia products, all New York born, Virginia educated.
Yes.
The look across for Manley, nothing develops. Quick transition offense now coming for New Jersey in the person of John Driscoll, cut off in the neutral zone by John Tucker.
And two other Wings players back to take any possible 2-on-3 or 3-on-1 combinations away from the Saints.
McCullough again comes from behind.
Take a shot. Grab the entire perimeter.
And again, I can't help but tell you how surprised I am by the individual effort of the Saints in kind of a negative way. Not that much in the way of swift passing, as Goldberg's shot is handled by Pfeiffer, and we've got a cover. It belongs to Philadelphia.
Well, I think that you're going to find all their passing and that kind of thing that's going to be nice to watch is going to be in the transition, on the go. And once they're set up 6-on-6, they become a very ordinary team. They don't have the great Shaker Bakers who are going to get free and do the one-on-one stuff. So that gives them problems. I think maybe they'd be better off to drop the ball on the ground and have everybody run for it, pick it up, and then go unsettled.
And just use the straight speed.
Right.
Reeves can't handle the pass. Good job by McGrath to keep it in the offensive end. Good ball fake, just wide by Philadelphia. That was G.T. Corrigan.
Certainly one of Coach Evans' hopes today in the first half was that they could get a lead, a good lead, so that when they had to face Quinn in the second half, they had something that they had already built and would be in their favor.
Pfeiffer uses the right elbow on the save there, that time on Tom Sweeney out of Rutgers University. I'm sorry, that was Frank Tashman, number 1, not 11. Nice save, Pfeiffer. Off the elbow, up into the screen.
Vinny's got his stuff. They got the 3 quick ones there on some transition stuff and one-on-one, a rebound, but he's really done a nice job again. In the second period, he's been outstanding with some real tough saves.
It's Miko Red Arrow for New Jersey versus John Tucker. Tucker on the knee. And really gets great leverage as he comes up.
Yeah, the first to ever really play the box game were the Indians, and up in the Rochester area, and the Canadian Indians as well. And to see them have now a national field team and to be involved, have a player in this league here in America, and that's just great. It just adds to the flavor and tradition of the game.
And Miko has great skills, one of the quicker players. And that's French really working over Bloom, but the head and shoulder as he cuts left, it takes the third defender to cut him off. Shot clock inside 20. Red arrow, stripped clean by Greaves. And you see how Greaves holds it in front, as the coach said, to not allow Red Arrow to strip him from the rear.
Yeah, he knew Miko was there the whole time. He saw him looking out of the corner of his eye at him, and he just kept it in front and protected it and did a nice job. But Miko was also successful in taking the break away from the wings. So both men did their job.
Philadelphia beat the Saints here 17-11 last year, lost at New Jersey 11-8 in the league opener last year. We're inside 3 minutes. In the second period, Philadelphia on top by 1. Conley's wide shot, handled by Swift. And a good job of singular forechecking by Crothers.
Crothers been very active today. He's using his speed much better, and he's very aggressive defensively, especially in the defensive end, riding, trying to stop them from getting the ball out.
Stopping the outlet pass, which triggers the transition offense. Randy Natoli sets the floor. With Sweeney, Engelke, Nicholas, and Driscoll. Well, that was a little too easy as Natoli walks right around Lehman, goes long side and beats Pfeiffer. We're tied at 5.
Once again, we'll see the nice overhand shot. He's got all 4 corners to shoot at, and he picks the top right one to let it go. He just gets by Lehman, and there it is. He's got Vinny Pfeiffer, any goalie in the world, at his mercy.
Should be some help, perhaps, on the weak side to give Lehman a little hand with Natoli.
Team defense certainly lacking.
Natoli, a great set of moves out of Elmont, New York, as mentioned. A Virginia graduate, 3rd in the league in assists a year ago, 6th in overall points. 2 goals tonight, and both almost identical. It's tied at 5. And it's a 3-on-3 with Engelke hammered from the rear by Resch. Works off the check to the top. The look is for Sweeney. Short hop off the mask, and Pfeiffer covers.
And a real good outlet pass to start now, possibly a break for the Wings.
Conley heard the crowd, perhaps, sensing Borges from the rear.
Not to show my age, Mr. Rosen, but Don Borges was one of my high school players at Lingbrook High School when I coached there before I came to the University of Pennsylvania.
You're old. Bozell. You certainly carry the years well. Bozell the duck. Oh, that one just got off the right knee on the short hop, inside on Swift. Could have snuck its way through. Huff, the largest member of the Saints. Saints made up of 5'9", 175 players, almost up and down the lineup.
Except for Scott Huff.
Except Scotty Huff.
And he is as strong and as tough as he is large.
Goldberg is beaten by Pfeiffer. Again, right now it is 22-15 Philadelphia in terms of shots. The margin has been shrinking as in 3 seconds we'll reach the last minute of the play in half number 1.
And join us at halftime for the entertainment and the shootout in Philadelphia.
John Tucker. Again, a special report with Mike French, former player, now general manager. Coming up at halftime, we invite you to stay with us for that as Tasker bids to give Philadelphia a lead. Swift handles it at the ankle, and in the final 40 seconds, back comes the Swift Jeff Goldberg, leads for McCullough. Now the shot clock could be turned off. There's 33 in the half, and a whistle. Timeout called. Bob Engelke, New Jersey Saints. So they want to try to set up that one final offensive thrust with the shot clock off and 30 seconds remaining.
As we look at Bob Engelke, who I believe is up for Best Dressed Coach of the Year here in the MIL. Seriously, though, they're going to try to get an offensive play where they're going to get hopefully their best shooter or possibly get a matchup where they can go one-on-one with someone they feel is a little bit deficient on the defensive end for the Wings. At the other end, Coach Evans has got to talk to the Wings and say, all right, we got to be aware of the following things.
Watch the knee of Swift as it beat the basket and then just caught the leg of Swift as Bozell bids for it. Here you go again. It'll get underneath the basket and then catch the leg.
Yeah, I think that Mike Swift has done a very nice job. He's done everything that Engelke wants out of him. He wanted it close at halftime. They know that Quinn's going to come in and do the job in the second half. Michael Swift's been outstanding. He's done just what he's supposed to have done today. One thing, I think that it's too late now to help the Wings at all, but Mike Swift is a reaction goalie, and I think your eyes can help you a lot as a shooter. The last shot by Tasker, he looked down, Swift went down. Unfortunately, Tasker shot down. If he had looked down and shot high, he would have had Swift at his own, and we saw Greaves do that earlier when he put his stick low and shoot up to the top corner. But now they got to worry about Quinn, who is not a reaction goalie. He's going to wait for see where the ball is and get there. God knows, does he ever have the ability to get there.
And ragging in his own end is Natoli as Swift. That's as subtle and as shy a goalie leaving the crease as you'll ever see. There's the empty net with 7 seconds. The one final move could belong to Engelke. No, from the top, it's Natoli. Tries a little touch pass just before the horn.
Nice defense, real nice defense. And we got Tucker over there on Natoli, and Natoli said, this is not paddling, and it's John Tucker. I can't go one-on-one. I've got to look to pass off.
We have reached halftime. Philadelphia 5, the New Jersey Saints 5. And stay with us. Coming up, a special profile. Philadelphia Wings general manager Michael French in just tied up. Pretty much an evenly played first half. It's tied at 5. New Jersey in first place. Philadelphia trying to reach playoff position with a win today. Here at halftime for our special halftime feature, a man that changed from a role of player to a man in the pinstripe suit as general manager. Time to meet Michael French.
From the on-floor point maker to the behind-the-scenes policy maker. Last year, Mike French, at 33 years old, led the Wings in point production. This year, he stepped lively into the role of general manager. With a lengthy amateur career, a successful season as a pro player, and a new management perspective, French is in a unique position to provide answers to issues centering on the future of indoor professional lacrosse.
I think that's helped me a lot. I believe that it's helped the players respect me and kind of let me do what I thought was best. Because you can't have, as I said many times, you can't have 7 coaches in the locker room. You can't have 18 different people criticizing, because everybody wants to listen to one person. And our practices are, 100% attendant. And if people don't show up, they don't play. And we were running it like we think a professional team should be run. If there's money to be made, it should be shelled out to those people that are making the commitment. And I've made that clear from day one. And I think that maybe the players that have put in the commitment for a couple years are veterans. Maybe the higher performers should be compensated a little bit more, according to the amount they contribute on the team. I think that's one way. I think also you have to be able to give everybody in general, more money that people that are playing. I don't agree with the excessive violence in some respects. I don't agree with a lot of the hype, but I'm not so sure that I know how to market any better. But I think that the one thing they are doing well is that they recognize that it's a very tough, physical, and hard sport to play, and these guys are real good athletes. And I guess once they get the people in there, I think what they're trying to do is, and their idea, and I haven't agreed with this, is that you get them in there and you show them what the game's all about, and you educate them. If I was to do it differently, probably because I'm more of a lacrosse enthusiast, former player, whatever, I would probably try to build up more of the physical attributes of the players that play. The guys we have on our team, I've said it many times, most of them are 2- and 3-time All-Americans from, major college universities. We got guys that, went to Penn, Yale, Virginia. We've got a dichotomy of different types of athletes. Many of them could play a lot of different sports, I think. I have a lot of confidence that it will succeed, and, possibly players will make a lot more money. But I don't want the game to change. If it's got to change at the expense where we have to make players make large commitments and get away from what they're normally doing, I think it might not succeed long term. I don't necessarily agree with some of the ways that we're trying to advance the sport, but I do believe you have to crawl before you walk. And, you know, the expansion and some of these other things, I think they're good ideas, but I'm not so sure whether we're ready for those things yet.
And the views from Mike French, general manager, Philadelphia Wings. A lot of logic from that man on the future of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. We're at halftime. We'll come back with stats and analysis and more in just a moment. It came out very swiftly in the opening going. Got John Tucker involved early on.
Yeah, John Tucker has come with his scoring stick today, as we said. Great pass by Tasker. Tucker faked this guy with his eyes off of him, got the ball. Defenseman never even knew it and put away.
Tucker and Greaves, the goal scorers. Meantime, in the second period, Natoli led the comeback as the Saints got it tied.
Yeah, here's Mr. Natoli, old true and honest. He puts it home on the top corner. Nice position, good shot.
Natoli, Marino, Huff, Crowley, Natoli again for the Saints. We're tied at 5. We're ready for the third period.
And we've got one heck of a good lacrosse game going on right now, Larry Rosen.
At halftime, the coach Bob Engelke said his club was not quite running the way he had hoped they would. We'll see how they respond to their halftime lecture. Aside from the fact that they have no lead, Evans must be happy with the way his club has played. And again, Larry Quinn, the All-American, All-World player out of Johns Hopkins, in goal for New Jersey. He's down to our right. Natoli leads the 3-on-2. Tries to split the defense. Nailed by DeSico. And it comes back out front. Driscoll has no help. It's Resch. 2-on-2 with DeSico.
Engelke's disappointment, I think a lot of that was caused by the Wings. I think they got back on defense. They controlled the tempo offensively. They got good rebounds. That was important to stop the running of the Saints.
Quinn there with a tackle on Resch to prevent the rebound. And that was right in front of Tamburino. But no call. Shot total 24, Philadelphia, 16, New Jersey. Engelke. The dip and the fake. Good defensive switch by Philadelphia. And the screen set there for Engelke. And again, the simple switch by Crothers and Conley. Driscoll shot wide, long side. Again, Vinny Pfeiffer, the only goalie we see that pretty much goes all 60 minutes. The other coaches seem to think the game's a bit too intense to allow one goalie in for that length of time.
Yeah, and Engelke made the comment to me that he's not only worried about the concentration and intensity, but that the equipment is heavy. And that in an indoor arena, you're sweating more, and you lose a lot of your energy. And that's going to hurt your concentration. So that's another reason that he likes to switch keepers. But he said if he had his druthers and he really thought about it, Quinn would be in there all the time.
For a playoff game, perhaps, it would be Quinn for 60 minutes. Bozell being forced to his left by Driscoll, who strips him clean. Good play by Driscoll. Out on the run comes New Jersey. It's Phillips. Can't get it back to McCullough.
Yeah, you see the brains of John Driscoll defensively. You take away Mr. Bozell's strong hand, and he has problems. Now, the thing that Mr. Bozell's got to remember is that he's 260 pounds, and Driscoll's 175. Why not just run over him when he takes away my weak hand? That's something you can't do in basketball or another sport, but here you can. Here's a break.
That is Tasker cherry-picking, but the high hop slows it down enough to let Jeff Goldberg catch him up. Philadelphia possession.
There's the big change in the rules this year, and the refs have been very, very good about calling it. When you got your back to somebody and you get shoved into the boards, they're going to call the interference and give the ball back to the team, which was a very, very good call right there.
Possession Philadelphia, scoreless first 3 minutes. And a delay of game warning given against Jeff Goldberg for knocking the ball away from Scott Boyle, the official. There's Corrigan at the top. Double pick weaves on both sides. Greaves comes off the screen with the ball. And the shot is wide by French. There's Quinn ranging far. and releases it into row number 3 behind the Wings bench. In hockey, that's a minor for delay of game against the goalkeeper, not in the indoor lacrosse game.
It's a bad pass.
French along the far boards. Philadelphia's strategy: use a lot of shot clock, limit the Saints' opportunities, and that certainly has been part of the deal. Quinn hit in the midsection off McGrath's shot, and Philadelphia quickly back with 3 defenders. It's 3-on-3. Marino off the bench tries to go across the body of Pfeiffer, and we've got a delayed penalty coming up here. It will be a 2-minute minor for roughing.
Here he finds Marino coming in off the bench. He splits the middle. He's got everything to shoot at and misses the cage. Against the good goalies, don't miss the cage. It helps him out too much. It's hard enough to score on him when you put it inside 4x4.
And G.T. Corrigan out of Washington and Lee University gets the roughness call here. New Jersey 1 for 1 with the man advantage. Philadelphia playing that diamond. You can see it's the diamond by Greaves being 30-35 feet out front. Goldberg's shot hits his own man, and Pfeiffer comes out with it. Tom Sweeney got drilled by Goldberg. That's the joy of setting a screen.
Yeah, it sure is. I've never been a big fan of screening the goalie, mainly because I think it's hard enough for us to put the ball by the goalie, much less past my own screen man who's never been trained in there. But there's a lot, certainly it's a big part of a lot of teams' offenses.
Goldberg whips again, and the rebound is shoved over the top by Matt Crowley, number 10. McCullough comes out with a loose one, maintains his balance well, has a man in front, off the pipe. I don't think Pfeiffer got a piece of that one off Goldberg. And McCullough again at the top. Good no-look pass for Goldberg. Cross the crease. Shot by Bloom is wide. And we've gone through the first 5 minutes of the third stanza scoreless.
55 seconds left in the penalty to Corrigan.
Philadelphia can rag just about the entire remaining penalty time with 33-1 on the shot clock and about 40 seconds remaining in the penalty to G.T. Corrigan. There's your score, tied at 5 through a scoreless first 5.5 minutes, period number 3.
Keep the goalie behind the cage. Now Greaves goes back there with the ball, but that's an effective way to kill it because you always got him as an outlet. Now kind of Greaves takes that away. Now he's going to do the broken field run.
Greaves. On the shot clock.
And a whistle here, push from the rear. There's your out-of-town update at halftime. Baltimore and Washington from the Capitol Center are tied at 7. We'll keep track of that one. Hope to get a final before we leave. And John Tucker helps out for the final seconds of the penalty. Corrigan, the door is open. Corrigan is out. Philadelphia kills the penalty.
Nice job. They only let him have one shot, one settled situation with the ball, and the rest of the time they killed it. Dickie Greaves, John Tucker style.
And it's J.C. Conley at a walk-it-up pace through the neutral zone. There's J.C. He's got one from distance today.
Conley with the ball.
That's Resch along the far boards, across for DeSico. Good ball movement, Philadelphia. Brothers plays catch with DeSico. Shot clock's at 4, and the crowd helps out. They really do. The knowledge of the crowd now to let them know a shot is necessary. Engelke comes 1-on-2, looking for a trailer.
Yeah, it's funny, and one thing is very noticeable in today's crowd, I think, Larry, as I look around, I see an awful lot of young 18, 17, 16-year-old boys with lacrosse jackets on from different high schools in the mainline area in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, and as opposed to our Saturday night crowd.
Quinn just got a piece of that one as Manley faked high, then went low. And we're inside 8 minutes, still a scoreless third period. The next goal is going to look big as Marino bids for it.
Easy shot Pfeiffer off the left shoulder pad.
Yeah, it is big, the next goal. I agree with you 100%, and I think it's the biggest for the Wings because the Wings need a goal to say we can score on Larry Quinn. We've heard about Larry Quinn. We know Larry Quinn. We've played against him. We've read about him. We need to score on him so that we can find out that that's a possibility. So the same thing doesn't happen to them that happened to the Thunder against the Wings last week.
Good set play for John Tucker. Tucker had more time than he realized. Put an easy shot in on Quinn. Could have stopped and picked the corner. Went 5-hole. Rebound handled Philadelphia. That's Gary Martin. Had a main eventer with Driscoll earlier today.
Try to watch Gary Martin. Every time he throws a pass, he turns his head opposite of where he's going to throw. He's done it since I've ever seen him play lacrosse. He might not have anybody guarding him, and he'll turn his head before he throws the pass.
Inside 7 minutes, third period. The screen for McCullough works off it the other way. A lot of traffic in front for Miko Red Arrow's shot, which is wide, short hop. And again, Philadelphia doing a great job cleaning the doorstep. Long outlet for Jeff Bozell. Can't run it down as it short hops the boards. And Bozell and Huff.
And there's two rocks of granite lining up with each other.
Look like a pair of offensive guards.
Mutual respect time.
Natoli has a man behind. Frankie Tashman. In front, that one's off the top pipe or the helmet of Pfeiffer. And with 6:12 remaining in period number 3, we are still tied at 5. And a break in the action is called by Scott Boyle. We'll take a timeout to meet the man that set a league record with 6 goals in one game last week. His name is Pat Lehman. He was just another lacrosse playing layman until last week. Young Pat set a league record with 6 goals in one game. In his second season with Philadelphia, Pat wouldn't mind making a career out of lacrosse.
Oh, I'd love that. You know, lacrosse has been my life since I was old enough to walk, you know, from my father and then my brothers. And, you know, I would just love to see the game expand however it could.
Pat's brothers, Ben and John, have both spent time playing professional box lacrosse. In fact, the entire Lehman clan is considered by some to be the sport's first family.
You know, a lot of people have referred to us as that, at least in our, you know, in the Maryland area and Anne Arundel County. But, you know, everyone's been associated from my father's the coach, all of my brothers and sisters playing, to my mother cutting up oranges. So, you know, it's a whole family thing. It really has been.
And Pat Lehman did not have all that much vitamin C. No oranges being cut up for him. Set that league record, has only 1 assist today. He's been shut out on the offensive end.
Well, as he said, sometimes they fall and sometimes they don't. He certainly had 3 or 4 good opportunities, but they haven't gone in for him. And that big responsibility has been in the hands of Mr. Swift and Mr. Quinn in the nets, stopping him.
We are even at 4 apiece in shots in the third period. Still tied at 5. Face-off down to our left with 6:12 remaining, period number 3.
There's no doubt that the Saints have done their homework, and you come in here and you know that who just scored 6 goals in the last game for the Wings. You're going to watch him. You're going to be a little bit more aggressive against him than you are maybe some of the other players on the field. So Lehman now, he's going to have the kind of pressure on him that a John Tucker has had all year long. So what happens? John Tucker starts off with the first 2 goals for the Wings today.
That is Engelke triggering, leaving for Randy Natoli.
Trying to spread the wings out.
A lot of cutting through the crease, and it leaves Engelke alone. Pfeiffer moving to his left, makes the save. Breakaway for J.C. Conley. End-to-end run. Score on the short hop. As the little man stood up Quinn and beat him around the ankles. 6-5 Philadelphia.
There's the one they needed, Larry Rosen. There's the one they needed. Yes, we can put it by Larry Quinn. Real nice job by Connolly. A great stretch effort defensively. He gets him in the 5-hole. See how high Larry Quinn was then. He's trying to take away all 4 corners with his body. And he puts it the one place he can't get, between his legs.
John Conley with great speed. His 2nd of the night, 7th of the season.
It's funny, sitting next to me here, to my left, we have the Princeton University lacrosse coach, Bill Tierney, who was Larry Quinn's high school coach, trained him, brought him along as a goalie, as a young man. And I've always said to Billy, the one place I think Larry Quinn is weak is between his legs.
Oh, lovely play. Cutting off behind as Frank Tashman accepts the pass and drills it by Pfeiffer. What a lovely look from behind. Ties it up at 6 just that quickly.
Yep. Frankie Tashman, sneak move from behind, loses his defenseman. We call that hanging your defenseman on the pipe. And he was way over on the left side, and Tashman came around. You see Tashman come around, his defenseman is way over on the opposite side. So a real smart move by Tashman, a player who's played behind a long time. That's called hanging your man up.
Again for Philadelphia, Tucker, Greaves, and Conley each have 2. The tally with 2 for New Jersey, tied at 6. And Tashman, just a classic cut, accepted and scored in one motion before Pfeiffer could move. Oh, and Conley is drilled by Randy Marino. Had a good, clean, hard, solid check. Pfeiffer the save. New Jersey not known as a physical team, but they've had some solid shots on Philadelphia, especially in period number 3.
And the wings move on the offense.
Attacking to our right comes Philadelphia with Greg Manley. Manley's been quiet offensively. And the rangy one, John Tucker, works around a Tasker screen. At the feet by Gary Martin. And once they beat him in the 5-hole, they want to go 5-hole all night long now. Pfeiffer, Goldberg gets a piece of him behind. And Pfeiffer, a nice shovel pass to John Tucker. Tucker seemingly always there as a little outlet distribution for the goaltender.
Yeah, not only that, but when he picks the ball up off the boards or off the ground or from the goaltender, he finds the open man. He always finds the right guy to throw the ball to.
Tucker has Bozell screening. Now tries to work by himself on Matt Crowley. Gary Martin stop and go.
Larry made the comment right at the start of the second half that Engelke had said to you he wasn't happy with the amount of running that they had been doing, and they had to get going and running a little bit more. One of the ways to do that, to trigger that, is the long pass. And we see that here in the second half. And there's another one, a 30-yarder. So you're going to see that from the Jersey Saints a lot more than you're going to see it from the Wings.
And it leads to a goal by Jeff Goldberg. The kind of goal that Vinny Pfeiffer has not allowed in quite some time. Kind of an easy, long shot, just trickled on through.
Yeah, in fact, when we're going to see Vinny, he doesn't even know that it's in. He thought he had it. He thought he had killed it. He's still looking for it. He saw it all the way. There's nothing tricky about it. It's right through his legs. Just something that he has not allowed to happen since that first game that we saw down at Washington Arena.
So now Philadelphia forced to play come from behind lacrosse. New Jersey's first lead of the game at 7-6 with 3:23 remaining, third period.
As New Jersey takes their first lead at 7-6, the assist to Tom Borges.
And a great shot of the face-off. The ball lies on the ground. Both sticks come in. Hands are apart on the stick. And then it's the draw.
And it's broken free by Mikko Red Arrow, number 15. But possession belongs to Philadelphia in the person of Matt McGeaney.
So the Wings on the attack, they trail by a marker.
At the University of Maryland, Baltimore.
Reese with the ball.
And here's Gary Bloom. He's been quiet. He's got a helper. Shovel pass across. And a nice save Pfeiffer as he beats Borges long side. Vinny anticipated well there. Borges from behind tries it himself.
Ball is loose, play ragged.
Vinny Pfeiffer set that save up. He let Borges think he's had the corner, let him think he had the corner, and then just as it came out of the stick, he takes the corner away. That's Vinny Pfeiffer type of goal playing. Vintage Pfeiffer, I guess I'm trying to say.
That's French going alone on Red Arrow, who shoves him off. As the shot clock reaches 15, it's McGeaney. Good look to a cutting McGrath. Rebounds on the floor. Shot clock still moves down inside 5. No, they did indeed reset it. For French, just wide. French's opportunities have been limited. And here is Bloom. with great speed, 2-on-1. Scored by Crowley. Matt Crowley out of Cornell University with the assist to Gary Bloom. It's an 8-6 Saints lead.
Gary Bloom sets up his players so well. You see, draws that defenseman, gets Crowley. Crowley keeps the stick high. He's got all four corners. He waits and sees what Pfeiffer's going to give him and takes the opposite. See how Pfeiffer that time was way over to the left? He thought he would shoot right. He was leaving it here for him. He moves there. Sometimes against goalies like that, once you get labeled that, the place to shoot is right where they're guarding because they're going to leave that. They're going to vacate that spot. That's exactly what happened right there.
And a great touch pass by Bloom, who hit him over the head level to give him plenty of time to get that stick up in good position to bang it through. So Philadelphia trails by a pair with 1:35 remaining third period, and the Spectrum gets quiet. Certainly a much different mood than last week when the second half belonged completely to Philadelphia. Even in their losses, New Jersey has played great in the second half. Engelke to Natoli, low, right in the bucket, handled by Pfeiffer.
It's funny, Quinn's played the second half for them in every one of their games. You make the comment that there's a play just the opposite of what we saw at the other end. The guy who gets the long pass, it's a great long pass. He catches, handles it. He's got Larry Quinn head on. Instead of dishing it off to the open guy, make Quinn move, give it to where he's not, he takes the shot, stuff.
Last minute of play in the third period now. 8-6 New Jersey. Driscoll. Good fake, has an alley, goes long side beyond the pad of Pfeiffer, but it's off the post. And Philadelphia 2-on-1 if they hurry. And Stevie Way finally breaks it free. For Carruthers by himself. Jeff Goldberg taking a couple of pops. Steve Way breaks it back into the corner where Sweeney uses Quinn. Final thrust in the last 15 seconds belongs to New Jersey. They've had a great third period.
Yeah, they certainly have. And once you get up a couple goals, it just makes your goalie that much tougher at the other end.
And McCullough, weak shot as the third period ends. A la Ron Hextall. Pfeiffer shoots for the open net, but well after the blue light has come on. So we're through three periods here at the Spectrum. The New Jersey Saints now have taken the lead. It's 8-6, quarter number 4, when we return. He trails by a pair. And let's take a look at our upcoming Major Indoor Lacrosse League schedule. New Jersey travels to Baltimore. Philadelphia travels to the Capitol Center. Then Baltimore comes in here February the 20th, and we close it out in late February. Philadelphia, New Jersey, Philadelphia at Baltimore, then Washington at New Jersey to close out the Mill schedule.
Well, as we said, every game's a must game. You've got to have the wins in order to get into the playoffs, and that's going to be very important for the Wings. This is a huge fourth quarter, their biggest fourth quarter of the year.
New Jersey has scored 26 fourth quarter goals in 4 games. Philadelphia has scored 10. And a great save by Pfeiffer off Tashman. Great quickness coming across his line. Might have been the save of the night by Pfeiffer.
It sure was. It was outstanding. And you notice something about Tashman. He sits behind the cage. We call it the X spot, where the pipes come back and meet. He sits back there and sees where the defenseman is going to play him. Most defensemen stay out in front so they can help in the team defensive concept. And when they do that, they lose sight of Tashman. Tashman has snuck around for 1 goal and almost had his second, but a tremendous effort by Pfeiffer.
Well, there's a nice block on Tashman by Mark DeSico to break up a 3-on-1. He's wrapped by McCullough. And Philadelphia clear possession.
Well, here's Vinny Pfeiffer in his fourth quarter now. Larry Quinn in his second. So we find, does the tiredness or does the weariness of the whole game hurt you as a goalie? I think when you're in the kind of shape that Vinny Pfeiffer's in, it does not.
Seems to come on stronger in the second half.
Yeah, I think you've got that rhythm, and you just feel the pace of the game, and you understand the different shooters.
What a pass onto the stick of Huff by Quinn, but he can't quite accept it. Gary Martin works over Huff behind, and Jeff Bozell comes out with it. 2-on-2, making it 3-on-2 as Tasker joins. Off the left elbow. Rebound hits the defenseman in front. And Manley was just flat out robbed of the left elbow of Larry Quinn. That is Crowley. His goal would stand as the game winner right now. Miller's alone. Tries to go high and fight for handles.
It's great because you got more than a game here. You've got the two best goalies in the league going head-on against each other. Right now, Pfeiffer's losing by a goal, 2-1 in the individual contest. But you've just seen three of the most unbelievable saves. 2 by Quinn, 1 by Pfeiffer in the last 35 seconds.
That's Miko Red Arrow. Uses his quickness around Bloom. Pfeiffer across the crease quickly stops Crowley. Oh, and John Tucker buried somebody in front.
The Saints are getting a lot more rebound shots than they did in the first half.
Well, it's all Pfeiffer now, as he's the last line of defense. Bozell has his stick held by a Saint laying on the carpet. That's Borges. Bloom in front. Pfeiffer handles Crowley again.
And another rebound, Saints. That's going to be their 5th time now they've controlled the shot.
And finally out comes Jeff Bozell. Looks for French coming off the bench. And a kick save by Quinn. Breathes the rebound. Right in the midsection. And Quinn's got a cherry picker. That's Gary Bloom. Across and Pfeiffer off the mask. Certainly the end-to-end action is picked up. French with threes. Philadelphia. Now Larry Quinn lays down in his crease. I have no idea what may have happened to Larry Quinn.
The last shot, Larry was a little bit lower than his midsection, and he got stunned, and he's just taking the time to get it all back together right now.
How about a female trainer? What do you tell her?
It hurts.
Get out the cortisone.
You know I was right because she's leaving quickly.
Okay, Larry Quinn is back up.
Now there's Bob Engelke on the carpet, but his service is not required either. A scoreless 4th period, 8-6 New Jersey, the 11:20 remaining possession, Philadelphia to our left.
And there was a real new look by Coach Dave Evans. He had him in a 4-man stack, 1 man with the ball, and they broke out on a signal, but no one was open. French kept the ball.
McGeaney at the top to Corrigan. And another save off the foot of Quinn as he held his ground. Philadelphia 1 and done in the offensive end. Natoli tries to go around Greaves. And that one's off the forehead of Scotty Boyle. Pfeiffer leads the charge. McGrath too high for Lehman, so he takes it off the pane. There he goes low, Quinn beats him. And Lehman comes up, dangling his right arm as if a shoulder may have been injured. You figure you hold New Jersey to 8 goals through 3+ periods, you're doing a great job, yet Philadelphia has only lit the lamp 6 times.
It's just a clinic at both ends. It doesn't matter which end you're looking at. It's unbelievable.
That's another pipe. Goldberg beats Pfeiffer, hits the pipe long side. Rebound belongs to New Jersey again. But Resch comes down with it. Tony Resch. And Philadelphia has been 1 and done lately in Larry Quinn's side of the field. That's John Tucker. He's been quiet since period number 1. Tasker, left-handed, switches hands, shoots high and wide.
That could be a record breaker. Dave Tasker took a right-handed shot.
Crowley eyes up John Tucker, goes back to what the coach calls the X spot behind. And that one off Nicholas, handled easily and broken down, yet the ball has belonged to New Jersey for most of the second half.
Yeah, they have, but yet the Wings have had some outstanding shots in the fourth period, and Quinn has been unbeaten, or you just can't score on him here in the fourth quarter.
Bloom. In front, Tashman at about hip level. Pfeiffer blocks that one. And there's Tucker throwing his weight around, but a man is free in front. Score! By number 5, Randy Marino.
Marino did a great stick fake then. He had Pfeiffer thinking he was going low, and he goes up high with it. So he drops his stick, Pfeiffer's down, and comes up over top the shoulder, almost identical to what Dickie Greaves did in the first period against Michael Swift. Once again, down low, and then puts it high, opposite shoulder. It's a great shot. It's on the goal in the 4x4.
And for Ronnie Moreno, his second goal at the 6:18 mark. Philadelphia down by 3. They know now they've got to beat Larry Quinn 4 times to win this one.
Yeah, and that's real tough to do, as is very obvious.
Associate producer Paul Jolovitz reminds me that Marino is not related to Dan Marino.
Paul Jolovitz, our young, brilliant associate director, also reminded me that Bozell should be on the all-John Madden team, of which Paul is a member.
Paul's no longer allowed to talk with the announcers. Back comes Marino, the goal scorer. It's 9-6 New Jersey. And New Jersey now can afford to milk the clock. That is not their style.
Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon's attendance.
I really don't think they have to milk it, to be honest with you. I think they should stay, if I was their coach, stay in your game plan, keep moving the ball, keep moving yourselves, look for the open man, get up and down as fast as you can, and let Larry Quinn do what Larry Quinn does best, stop the ball.
Well, that time they left one man back at midfield, Randy Natoli, with Pat Lehman. It was a 4-on-4 set. Our attendance here at the Spectrum, 9,208.
A real good crowd for a Saturday afternoon.
Here's Greaves, who's been somewhat quiet. Philadelphia in an offensive set, clearing the slot area.
Tough bringing that stick in front of your face. It's very easy for a defenseman to check, much like bringing a basketball in front of your body and letting his defensive goal.
How do you like that? Corrigan.
The local Philadelphia boy comes through with a big side armor. I think it surprised Quinn more than anything else, but it beats him, and that's a well-needed goal.
Got him short side, did Corrigan out of Bryn Mawr.
Once again, off number 12's hip. Very tough to see. Good velocity. Real good shot.
And we pass the halfway mark, period number 4, with New Jersey on top, 9-7. We've got a break in the action. Philadelphia is still trailing by 2. The wave going on beneath us. Again, the attendance tonight, 9208. A 3-game total of 39,050. The average attendance for the Philadelphia Wings, 13,017. And the next game also an afternoon affair on February the 20th.
Every Wing player says to me before every game, I can't believe the Philadelphia crowd. It's awesome to play here in front of so many people, to hear them so much behind you. So it's a real important factor. And that last goal by G.T. Corrigan brings the crowd into the game. So now it might be 6 against 5 instead of 5-on-5. And once again, the Wings control the faceoff.
And Corrigan waited so long to get that first goal, and now he's got it. Greaves off a screen. Rebound. McGeaney had a shot in front, could not control, and Quinn, like a vacuum cleaner, scoops it up and outlets. That's French. Almost nailed by his teammate, John McGeaney.
As we get down later into the waning minutes here, there's a possibility that Coach Evans might want to, for the first time in 2 weeks, throw Tucker, Greaves, and Lehman together on the same line. Maybe you get some more offensive power. They've run a lot out here today, Greaves and Tucker, so I think they're tired anyway. But maybe you want to hook up Martin and Greaves and Tucker and Lehman on the same line and maybe give you a little bit more offensive punch. That's going to have to be his decision. It's something you might want to consider in the last 6 minutes.
Martin and Tucker out there now. Tucker's shot is about 5 feet shy and goes up well over inside 6 minutes now.
If anybody should know how to shoot against Larry Quinn. It should be John Tucker, teammates for 2 straight years when Quinn was a starter and Tucker the great midfielder at the same school. So every night in practice going against each other.
And Tucker's trying to go low. That's McCullough. Behind. Tries to go for a cutter, but Philadelphia does a good job keeping it crowded in front. Shot clock at 15. Goldberg has a double screen. Marino at the line. Cuts right. Good defense, Philadelphia's Martin. Shot clock in 3, 2, 1. And as Philadelphia possesses, no shot clock violation. 5, 10 and counting. Gary Martin, the no-look pass. To Lehman, off the pipe. And a whistle.
In the crease. He was in the crease after the shot. It was a great pass. Finally, the Wings, for the first time today, made the last right pass. And Lehman having trouble buying a shot. Shoots the left hand. It just goes wide of the pipe.
Conley behind. Manley Mather with Matt Crowley, whose shot is over the top. Long rebound comes up into the Adams apple of Eugene Miller. Jeff Goldberg scores on the short side. Looked like Goldberg stick fake long and points down to his goaltender. For you that was, says Jeff Goldberg. It's 10-7 New Jersey.
Real nice shot. Jeff comes in, keeps the stick high, looks to see what he's got. Once again, he shoots where Pfeiffer is instead of what he gives. And I think that's such a big key against Vinny. And beats him to the side that he had left there.
His second today. 10 minutes, 25 seconds.
At the 10, it's now 10-7 at the 4:35 mark.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout called by Philadelphia's Wings and will stay. As you'd have to think that Larry Quinn's been a major difference in this one, although he only played the 1 half.
Yeah, he certainly has been. And, of course, he came in for a short time in the first quarter to stop the man down when Mike Swift took the penalty. But he certainly has been outstanding. What's the say on the A-team?
Here we go.
It's so great when the plan comes together. We said that Quinn was going to be amazing, and he certainly has been. Boy, that shot there by Pat Lehman that hit the post was just such a crucial shot, because that would have brought the Wings within 1. The rebound goes out. He gets called for being in the crease. The ball goes back to the Saints. They come down, find Goldberg alone, and he puts it home. And boy, 10-7, 3 goals in 4.5 minutes. But anything can happen, and it always goes back to the face-off. Control the face-off, you got the ball to come right back down in their face again. So it's real important that it's that extra dimension to lacrosse, which I think never lets you out of it till the fat lady sings.
Yeah, Larry Quinn certainly has been very strong. Wings had 8 goals last year against Baltimore here, their lowest goal total ever. They're stuck on 7 right now. And we did not expect New Jersey to be that strong defensively. They like to kind of match you goal for goal. And all this loose action kind of favors New Jersey. The clock is running. Greaves tries to short hop just beyond Tucker, who'll run it down, has a trailer. And Greaves' shot goes well wide. Handled behind by New Jersey by Don Borges. And the long outlet. And the short hop shot is well wide by Matt Crowley.
It was a nice fake Crowley did before he let everybody think he was going to shoot on the first wind up and didn't. Defense froze, and he goes by to get a closer shot, but he's wide.
3:54 and counting, Philadelphia possession. Looks like that pass was intended for Coach Evans.
Yeah.
J.C. Conley has scored from that spot already, looking for a screen, trying to set it up. Back to Crothers. Again, Lehman and French are out there. Crothers' shot is wide.
Once again, the last 3 shots by the Wings miss the cage. And we just keep harping on, I know, and overemphasizing, make Quinn make the save.
Lehman alone. Quinn beats him. Lehman got that good quick pass. It looked like Quinn saw it coming, but they do handle the rebound. Conley off the right elbow of Quinn. And here we go, 4-on-1. This could be the put-away. Borges. And the trailer couldn't come up with the pass as Conley got a piece of it.
That's a great, great defensive effort by Conley. No doubt about that. He gets back 1-on-4, knocks down Borges' pass. Read his eyes very well.
And the outlet from Pfeiffer goes into the penalty box. And under 3 minutes and counting. Engelke can simply rag right in front of his brother's bench. And the clock still moves, 30 on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think you got to come out. You got to start playing. You got to make them come to the goal. They're being real smart now.
Engelke tries to go around Resch left. Miller. And Pfeiffer just in front of his line. Able to keep that one away.
Now you got to push the ball up. You got to get shots. You got to make sure they're on the cage.
Martin's shot is short and wide. And Philadelphia has to gamble to come up with it, and they could be burned on the other end very quickly. Nicholas breaks it free. Philadelphia's got it. Is that Manley? Yes, he's knocked down from the rear, right in front, over the shoulder shot, and the whistle blows as Manley takes a pop at Larry Quinn.
1:51 left in the game.
And a crease violation. It all belongs to New Jersey with 1:47 and counting. Philadelphia, their lowest goal total in the franchise. At least now they're chasing with Resch and Goldberg. Goldberg does a great job shielding. Takes the swipe from DeSico, and here comes Resch. 2-on-1. Give and go. He was in the crease the whole time. Crease violation.
And Larry Quinn still made the save.
The shot doesn't count anyway.
Larry Quinn looks unbeatable now with 1:14 and counting. The New Jersey Saints 70 seconds away from running their league-leading record to 4-1. And Philadelphia simply has not had the answers offensively to Larry Quinn.
I'm not sure anyone does, and I think the whole rest of the league wants to be thankful that Engelke only uses them for a half and not for a whole game.
Well, Marino is stripped by Lehman. Lehman about to go in on a break. He's pulled down from behind, and we should have a penalty called against Marino. There's the strip. There's the takedown from the rear. 1st and 10. 2-minute penalty. Actually a 56-second penalty. Coming up.
And once again, very important now, the face-off is a very important factor. Of course, you got to score the goal, but if you do score the goal, you get the face-off, you can get the ball back, you can go down, and there's a possibility of scoring 3 goals in 56 seconds. It's there. As I mentioned last week, the University of Pennsylvania against the University of Massachusetts did just that in 47 seconds. Thank God Larry Quinn was not in the goal.
And Larry Quinn gets a break from his net as the tally sits in the penalty box for the final 56. Called officially for holding or tackling.
I think that was a real good timeout by Coach Engelke then. He gets his defense together. More importantly, gives Quinn a chance to just take a drink of water and a big sigh of breath and say, let's get it together here. I've got to be tougher in 56 seconds. I've given him 2 goals in the whole half. Now to be tough.
And I believe Larry Quinn was just named the MVP of this afternoon's contest. I did not vote for him. He only played a half. And here they are in the box, just trying to keep the Wings at the perimeter. Greaves must shoot. The net is empty. That's kind of an inviting target.